Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake, I'm joined by Paul today, and this might be one of the last times you see me on the channel. As you have seen, we are advertising for a new job, and that is because I am leaving.
It is the last time, because you leave in 2 days.
Yep.
So I don't think we're going to have a chance to get any more content out. We've exhausted our backlog of Jake's content. So this is it. This is it. 3.5 years you've been here.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Can you remember the first line of your application form? Because I can.
I can as well, yeah. I put a lot of hard work and effort into that. It was, if you are a watcher of the channel, you remember Jake Atkinson, who used to work here, and he was also an apprentice at the time. I said something along the lines of, my name is also Jake, so if you hire me, you only have one name to learn. So it'll be significantly easier than any other apprentice.
Yeah. The rest of your application, I can't even remember, to be honest.
No, I can't either.
But to be honest, that's what you need to do. You just need to grab someone's attention. Because when you leave school, like, how do you write an application form? You've got nothing to say about it, really, have you?
Yeah, well, you've got no experience. You've got nothing going for you, have you? You're just a few qualifications from your exams, and that's about it.
Somehow you just got to get that message across that, hey, speak to me. And which is, I thought, do you know what? I want to speak to this guy. And it sort of started from there, really.
Yep.
So this is an interesting part for me because 3.5 years have passed. You came here straight from school into an apprenticeship, which you made at that key point in your life. You made a decision to come and do an apprenticeship as opposed to a university. And 3.5 years later, the people that you went to school with have all played out. They're either graduated or graduating soon. So with 3.5 years, how does that play out in your mind now? Do you still think you made a good decision, or are you?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't still be here, would I, for 3.5 years if it wasn't if it hadn't been a decent decision. But yeah, when I did my A-levels at school, didn't really enjoy them through like COVID and that sort of stuff, and I knew I didn't want to go to university because there was nothing I was really like interested in studying particularly, or anything that I had like an eye on for like a pathway out of it. So I would have just been going for the sake of it, and I didn't enjoy exams and stuff like that. I wanted to do something that I was like genuinely interested in, instead of just, you know, going and whittling away my time studying like rocks in geography or something like that. So I knew I wanted to do something that I was genuinely interested in, and at that point, and still now, it's bikes.
You've done a lot of bikes.
I have done a lot of bikes over the last 3.5 years. And so, yeah, I think it's been great, to be honest, in terms of like, it's something, I think it's probably a lot broader range of skills than I would have imagined at the time.
That was one of my key questions, actually. Is there stuff that you've learned over the last 3.5 years that you'd never expected in your wildest dreams when you applied to be a bike mechanic apprentice?
Yeah, I think it's probably part of obviously being like a reasonably small business. I think you just learn everything. In terms of like, you're not just fixing bikes, it's, you know, every day there's something different going on. There's always something happening. I think you learn a lot more than just fixing bikes. It's you know, even just dealing with customers and stuff like that. You learn a massive amount, even just like dealing with seeing people on a day-to-day basis, whether it's, you know, the customer service or just learning from the people that you interact with. Mm-hmm. And that it can be as simple as that, and I think that's something that you don't really get at like a
You've had a few different roles as well, so obviously we saw some real leadership potential in you, and when we were recruiting last time, we promoted you to the role of head mechanic, which, because of your racing, which we'll come on to in a second, you turned down and then went down a different route with a sales path, and a lot of people watching this have probably spoken to you on the phone. And that in itself, just experiencing lots of different aspects of stuff. It's not just about it's about selling and communicating, and I mean, you've made quite an impact with our community. So both online and locally, you're quite well known now. How does that make you feel?
It's all right, isn't it? It's just people. It's like, you know, it's not like I do get recognised occasionally at races and stuff, which is weird, I think, because I'm not even on the channel that much. But every now and again, so I'm like, oh, are you on the Mapdec channel? And that is kind of weird because it's mostly you. But it's kind of cool at the same time that people see like the work and recognise.
You've been on the channel a lot. I think probably more than you realise. Do you remember your first video that you did? Oh, the first proper one. I
remember I edited Jake Atkinson's bike check, and that actually did pretty well. I think that was the first video I like worked on. I don't remember the first video I appeared on.
The first one that I really got you involved in the channel was your first attempt at the Three Peaks cyclocross race.
Oh yeah.
Because I was so inspired by how much thought and effort that you had put into preparing for that. I wanted to tell that story.
Yes, I do remember filming that now. Was that the first video we did?
That was the first one that was like proper full-length feature. Yeah, you've been on like little shorts here and there and bits and pieces, but that was the first one that was really all about you. And you came across great, and since then I think you have got so much camera confidence.
Yeah, it's something that it's really weird, isn't it, when you first start doing it?
Yeah.
Like even now, I'm still not looking at the camera because I'm talking to you.
That's
but
great.
At the same time, it feels weird to stare down the lens, and you know, it's something that's quite foreign, really.
You know, there might be 10,000 people that watch this. So, what now? Why are you leaving, Jake?
Because I really like riding bikes. I think for me, that like the long and short of it is that I feel like we've had a really good run here. It's like I've learned a lot in my time here. And it's like there's been a lot of good days and a lot of fun days and a lot of good times here.
We've had highs and lows.
Oh yeah.
In equal measure. Any relationship, parents, girlfriends, 3.5 years, you're going to have highs and lows. Yeah. And I think we've had highs and lows, which we've all learned from. I've learned from you as much as you've learned from me, I think, for sure.
I think it's one of those where it's something that whilst I enjoy doing it, it's not something I want to do forever. And there's stuff like racing bikes, I'm sure we'll get onto. I really enjoy riding bikes and racing bikes, and I got a lot of opportunity. And if it's something that I wasn't to pursue and, you know, still be doing this same sort of thing in 10 years time, I think I'd end up regretting not giving it a shot, because if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and that's fine by me, because I've still all the skills and qualifications and stuff I've built up here, I can easily take to go and get a similar job to this, or move somewhere else and do something different. But there's definitely a sort of timeline that you have to ride and race bikes at a high level.
You're 20 years old, right? 21 years old. Yeah, you're totally right. It's a really key age to making those decisions.
Yeah,
and stuff. So
and I don't want to live a life of thinking, oh, I could have done that, or what if I'd tried a little bit harder, or what if I'd applied myself. And I think that's something that I'm sort of quite conscious of, that I don't really mind if I miss out on a bit of money here and there, or a couple of years worth of job experience. But if I really didn't give it a crack, I think I'd end up regretting it.
So generally speaking, there's an opportunity ahead of you, but a fairly vague opportunity. Do you want to tell us all what it is?
Yeah, so I've moved teams over the winter after cyclocross season.
So this is from Papyrus Racing?
Yeah. So moved to a new team called 360 Cycling.
Yep.
I know a lot of the riders, have raced with them for ages, but
in fact, some of them are customers here.
Yes.
Come in.
Yeah. So and we have quite a lot of racing planned in the UK and abroad this year. So got a few UCIs on the calendar, stuff like that, to kind of really get stuck into. And
it's the way to get spotted.
Yeah.
Be at the races.
Yes. Yeah, especially with like the UK calendar, with no Conti teams anymore, and sort of domestic racing becoming less and less. I think it's all more important now, especially if you're trying to pursue racing at a high level. It is getting abroad and really trying to show yourself abroad and what you can do against those other riders that are really, really strong. Because in the UK, really, there's not a lot other than like Sickle Classic and national champs. There's not really a lot that counts for a lot anymore.
And a big part, if you've got to be ready to go and grab every opportunity that comes your way, drop of a hat, go and do it. Have you been somewhat inspired at all by Jake Atkinson's?
Yes.
Can you? So just quickly, if you don't know, Jake Atkinson, slopestyle rider who used to work here, he took a year where he said, "Hey, Paul, I want to go and enter this competition in Sweden." I think it was. He went and did that event.
I think. Well,
Sweden or Frankfurt?
The first. From the timeline I remember, Jake, he got an invite to something. It was put on by Thomas Lemoine.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
French rider, and it was sort of like a hybrid skate park slopestyle event. And he got the invite to go to France to ride it, and it was just one weekend.
And we never saw him again.
And he did unbelievably well at this event, and just took every chance he could at the scruff of the neck. And I think that's something that's definitely, it showed to me that it's like if you have the chance, just do it.
Absolutely. Because his attitude was say yes to everything, which I think you're definitely going to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, say yes. If you've got an opportunity, grab it. I want to go. Yeah.
Because that sort of stuff only comes around once in a lifetime, doesn't it?
And I totally respect your decision for that, because when Jake did it, we never knew who was coming back, and we were carrying the burden of.
Well, it was just me and you for about 6 months.
It was just thinking, Jake will be back next week, and then I got the call and he's not. So I really appreciate the fact that you've gone, right, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to follow my dreams. Let's go. It's bold.
Yeah.
It's so how are you feeling about it? You've got literally 2 days left here.
I know, it's quite exciting, isn't it?
To be unemployed.
That sounds good. That sounds really good. Yeah.
So what's the training schedule looking like?
A lot, I think, is the answer.
Yeah.
I've been training a lot the last, through winter and stuff. Been doing big hours and stuff like that. And so, it'll just be more, really. I don't think there'll be a massive increase in volume, but it's a lot of the stuff that you can optimize around it, like in terms of just like calendar and stuff like that, like when I have to work around weekends and stuff like that. And you can make a much more efficient training calendar when you just have every day to play with, and you can optimize your recovery and all that sort of stuff. And again, as you say, it's much more about like the opportunities that you can get by saying, yes, I can just go here for 2 weeks and that's that, rather than, having to find people to fill in and all that sort of stuff.
Boss, can I have the time off, please, etc. And can you cover my shifts and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Absolutely. So where are we going to see you race? Where's the first place that we're going to see you line up this?
So I've got a lot of domestic races coming up in the UK. So between sort of now and April, it should pretty much be in the UK. So I've got Peaks 2-Day, Cape and Ray, both like local-ish sort of Nat Bs, so good level races to kind of get tuned up. And then my first two like big races will be East Cleveland, which is the first Prem of the season, and then Sickle Classic as well, which should be my first UCI, because I did get invited last year, but it got rained off.
Oh yeah, I remember. You were absolutely gutted.
I was, I was, but hopefully second time round.
So are you looking at the year ahead, and is there something on there that's like a real key highlight, something that you're really like, oh, I want that? Yeah,
Sickle Classic is definitely a big one for me. I really like the race. I think it suits me really well, and it's something that's like it's kind of like the jewel in the crown, because it's the only big race left in the UK now that that we can enter as like a not a pro team that you can get an entry to. National Championships is also obviously a big one, because that's like everyone turns up to that, so that's really cool. And then we've got a couple of trips planned to France with the team. So a couple of stage races that I really want to get stuck into and kind of, because it'll be my first time sort of racing abroad, which will definitely be like a big...
And a stage race as well?
Yeah.
I can't remember you doing a stage race.
I've done like a couple of like 2 days things, but like nothing proper. So that'd be really interesting to kind of get stuck into and kind of see what the level is out there, and then like different styles of racing and stuff.
It's so exciting. I've got 2 more questions for you. One, if anyone wants to follow your progress, is there any way, are you going to be doing any sort of vlogging or social media? Where can we see how Jake's getting on? Yeah,
you can see me on Instagram. I'll post on Instagram every now and then. I think I will also start making YouTube videos, because obviously as I'll be unemployed, I'll have a bit of spare time on my hands. So hopefully I'll be able to get stuck into a bit of my own sort of camera action.
You've actually got a channel. I think you've got one video on it at the moment, which is your lap at a cyclocross.
Yeah, it was cyclocross national champs when it was 10 minutes down the road at Westmoreland. It did all right, that video. It got a couple of thousand views. Thanks to Cyclocross 24 for reposting that back in the day.
I think you'll be great. I think once you start the flow, I think it'll be great. But I think it'd be fascinating to see someone really go through the process of trying to follow their dreams and do it. So I really hope you do that. That'd be mega. And one final thing, if there's anyone out there right now at 17 years old thinking, should I go to university or should I take on an apprenticeship, what would you say to them? I would say that there's either the right path or the easy path, in terms of like, in your head, you will know what you want to do. In terms of like, there'll probably be a path of going to university where all your teachers will be bugging you to put in a UCAS application, and people are saying you should go and do this course, you should go and do that course, I went here so you should do that. But really, if you're just going because of the sake of going, what is the point in sort of racking up all that debt and doing stuff that you don't particularly want to do, when actually there's a lot of avenues in stuff that you actually probably are interested in, whether it's something that's a little bit less formal or like not seen as prestigious as going to university. But I think you can always go later as well, in terms of like, I could go now. Yeah, absolutely. I've had friends that have taken a couple of years out and then decided, actually I do want to go to university, because there's something they've sort of changed or found an interest in that they want to study. And it's like, I think just do what you want to do, rather than... How are you supposed to know what you want to do at the age of 17? Exactly. It's like, but hopefully through your time here, you've got a bit of an idea as to where it's going to go. Yeah. Well, Jake, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so proud of what you've achieved in the last 3.5 years. And I think everyone here at Mapdec just wishes you the best of luck. And I'm hopefully the rest of our community wish you the best of luck as well. We can't wait to see what you do. Awesome. Nice one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sweet. Take it easy. See you later.